So we're going to solve these equations by the elimination method. All right. The elimination method works when you've got your x's and your y's are like nicely lined up. See in these two examples? They're nice and lined up on the same side of the equation. Okay, first thing is 1 and 2. Now we've got to decide which variable we are going to eliminate. I am going to choose y because it looks simplest, right? If I've got a 1y in there, that's what you're searching for. It's easiest to work with. Okay, so ideally I will make both of these the same. I will make them both negative 2y, or 1 2y and 1 negative 2y sort of thing. So that means I've got to multiply equation 1 by 2. 2 or negative 2. We just want to get them the same so we can eliminate them. Okay, so equation 1 times 2. 2x times 2 is 4x. Y times 2 is 2y. 10 times 2 is 20. Now I'm going to call this equation 1 dash because it's this equation just adjusted. Okay, and then I'm going to have to decide how I'm going to work with these two equations. How could I eliminate negative 2y and 2y? That's what I'm asking. How could I eliminate them? What happens if I add the equations? I'm just going to do a little scribble off to the side. If I add the equations, I'm going to have negative 2y plus positive 2y, which just means that. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Success. We can eliminate it. So we're going to choose to add the equations. So I'm going to say equation 2 plus equation 1 dash. They're the two you're working with. So equation 2 plus 1 will just be, so just focus on where the arrows are. Well, it's going to be 3x plus 4x is 7x. Whoops. 7x. Negative 2y plus 2y, we knew that was 0, so that's fine. And 8 plus 20 is 28. And then we can just solve from there. It's the hard part. Done is deciding which multiple, what to multiply. And then 7x, so we'll divide both sides by 7. X equals 4. And then you're just going to substitute back into one of those equations. So sub x equals 4 into 1 or something. So 2x plus y equals 10. Substituting x equals 4. Simplify. And 10 take 8 is 2. So you have solved once you've found values for x and y. Now let's try this same process on the next question, all right? I'm just going to rub out. I'll just rub out that. So we know that we are using elimination method because our variables line up nicely. So there's no point in using the substitution method. Okay, then let's number our equations. Then we have to decide what variable we want to eliminate. Now, you could choose either. I'm looking for the 1x and the 1y. So, I don't know. Let's choose x for now. Actually, we're going to choose y for the sake of explaining it, okay? We're going to choose to eliminate y. Now, how could we do that? We need to get the y's sort of the same, at least the same number. Okay, so I'm going to work with my nice 1y here, and I'm going to say equation 2 times 2. Equation 2 times 2. 3x times 2, 6x. Negative 1y times 2, negative 2y. 5 times 2, 10. So I'm going to call that 2 dash because I've just adjusted equation 2. So now I'll draw an arrow to see where we're looking at. Whoops, we're actually looking at that first equation. Silly me. We're looking at these. This is what we're interested in. We adjusted equation 2 to suit us. So I'll put arrows next to our ones. And what have we got? So I am going to, I'll get rid of this too. confusing. Our goal is to eliminate these two y's now somehow. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I choose to subtract the equations, okay? Let's test it out. If I said 1 take 2, it's going to be 2y take, don't forget that sign at the front. It's going to be 2y take negative 2y, which is 2y plus 2y, which is 4y, which is not eliminating that y component, these two boxes. So we want to add the equations. So because we know not to do that, it's going to get us 4y. We're going to add the equations, and I'll show you what happens. Equation 1 plus equation 2 dash. Let's go. 1x plus 6x, 7x. 2y plus negative 2y is the same as 2y take 2y, which is 0. Success. So we just have 0 there. You could say plus 0, but we don't need to. And then you've got 4 plus 10, which is 14. And then you'll see that x equals 2. Okay, just focus on these arrowed equations. I think that's the way to do it. And then we need to solve. So we need to find a value for y. So you just got to sub x equals 2 into equation 1 or whatever you like. So I've got 2 plus 2 times y equals 4. Bring that 2 over to the other side. Subtract it. We get 2. 2y equals 2. And y equals 2 over 2. Any number divided by itself is 1. Okay. So that is, well, sorry to jump around there. That is how to do by elimination. Okay. You want to really check, do I add or subtract the equations? And just do a little test over here. This was equation 1, subtract 2. This was equation 1, add 2. So you really want to know your negative number.